Lagos State government places total ban on Okada riders in 6 local government areas, ordered to take effect from June the 1st, 2022. Help me, policewoman cries out as a driver zooms off with her in his car after she entered without permission. Hello guys, and welcome again to this very one, and thanks for joining me. Yes, the Lagos State governor, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, has placed a total ban on Okada riders in Lagos State. I mean, this has to do with the recent happening with regard to David Imo, an engineer that was lynched and burned to ashes by a commercial motorcyclist in Lagos State. I mean, this incident happened on the same day. Deborah Samuel was actually lynched as well and burned to ashes by a Muslim classmate, all because of her, issuing some blasphemous comments with regard to Prophet Muhammad, which the story you all are aware of what happened. On the same day, this particular man, David Imo, is a sound engineer, a father of 2 with a wife, was lynched as well in Lagos, to be precise, Lagos State, Lekki Phase 1, because of 100 naira change. There's been some news with regard to that. Left and right, people have said different kinds of things, but I believe a story is just one. So what I'm actually trying to say is that on the same day that that incident happened to David was the same day Deborah Samuel was lynched and burned to ashes as well. May their soul rest in perfect peace. Following that particular incident, I mean the very one in Lagos that happened, the Lagos State governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, has placed a total ban on Okada riders in Lagos State, and this is going to cover some areas of Lagos State. Not the totality of it, but it's going to cover some areas in Lagos State. Ikeja, Surulere, Etiosa, Lagos mainland, Apapa, and Lagos Island local government area. Those are the places, those are the local government areas for which the ban will take effect from the June the 1st, 2022. Let me quickly read to you what Governor Sanwo-Olu said with regard to this particular ban. He said, "We will not sit back and watch criminally minded people use that mode of transportation to perpetrate crime and criminality in Lagos. Lives are being lost on a daily basis. Preventable accidents are happening every day, and the riders are not respecting any of our traffic laws."
The whole of Okada local government, the whole of Sule local government, the whole of Etiosa local government, the whole of mainland local government, the whole of Apapa local government, and the whole of Lagos Island local government. A total ban on this and all of the highways effective from the 1st of June. This is the first banning that we're going to be embarking on, so that others know that in a short while, either they get out or for something else to do. And from 1st of June, there are LCDs that are underneath them. We're going to publish them. We're going to list all of them, and so we're given the notice now, right, where you can begin to do your recce, begin to do, your strategy. From the 1st of June, please, we want all of the Okada to be completely off this major road.
You'll be very surprised that the one that happened to Deborah Samuel in Sokoto State, though unfortunately hasn't got to do with the commercial motorcyclist in Sokoto State. It was got to do with being lynched and mobbed, and it happened probably coincidentally on the same day. So with regard to this particular ban that the Governor Sanwo-Olu himself has placed on these areas of Lagos State, the Hausa community in Lagos State promises Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu massive vote as they seek reversal of the ban on commercial motorcyclists. So they gather together, the Muslim community, not the Muslim community, the Hausa community of those areas and beyond, gather together to say, we are promising you votes. They promised Babajide Sanwo-Olu. Don't forget that Babajide Sanwo-Olu himself is going for the 2nd term. So what they have gathered to do here was to promise him that they are going to give him vote so as to make him reverse that particular ban which he has placed on them. Right, the Seriki of Obalende, Sali Wazir, said that rather than ban the commercial motorcyclists, many of whom are from the northern Nigeria, the government should get the data of Okada riders in Lagos State to fish out any intruder of criminally minded fellows. Right, I've said it before that most of these Okada riders are from the north, because it is quite difficult for people who from the south to lynch and burn people to ashes. It is really difficult. I've never heard of it before. And just of very recent, no, as a matter of fact, not just of recent, few years back, you start to begin to see the northerners, the youth from the north coming into the south. The only job, the major job that they do is to ride Okadas. And I'm quite happy with what this, the community leaders of the Hausas have said with regard to what has happened. That most of which are northern Nigerians. Most of which are northern Nigerians. So they know themselves that they are from the north and they have come to the south. Now, instead of them to maintain law and order, to follow traffic laws, to give respect to people, you need to see the way these Okada riders, the way they ride Okada in Lagos. You'll be very, very surprised. I don't know if most of you have been to Lagos. I believe you've been to Lagos, and so some of you that have not been to Lagos, you need to travel and see exactly how these Okada riders behave. Not only the way they ride, the way they behave. They use this Okada to perpetuate all sorts of crimes. Pickpocketing, snatching of bags and phones, perpetuating all sorts of crimes and things like that. You know, don't forget that recently in Lagos, the Okada riders were banned in some areas as well in Lagos State before this one came to play. You need to see. So a lot of people have thrown in different comments, you know, happy with the step that the governor Sanwo-Olu himself has taken to ban these Okada riders from those areas of Lagos State. Now, something very shocking that they said, they promised the governor, you can imagine that, they promised the governor the votes. So what they are trying to say now is that you reverse the ban, we give you a vote. So if he doesn't reverse the ban, they won't give him the vote. That's exactly what the Seriki of Obalende Wasaliu Waziri said. I'm going to go further on what they said. Some of our members, that's the community leader now, some of our members stay here in Lagos and vote during elections. This exactly is coming from the Hausa community leaders. You know, he says some of our members stay here in Lagos and vote during elections. They should count for something because we contribute to votes during elections. The government should change the system of Okada riders, not stopping them, okay? The Seriki of Hausa of Aja, Ibrahim Ngoma, agreed with the Obalende counterpart that the government should consider the voting population of Hausa Okada riders in Lagos. So they should put into consideration the voting population of the Okada riders over the lives of the people, over the crime they commit, over the menace they commit, over the disturbances and crimes they commit in the society. So all that matters is that they need to consider the voting power of these people over the lives of people. How can you just lynch somebody, a flesh human being, a blood human being like you, and then you go ahead and put tires on them and burn them? And then you come to the public, you write something like this to the governor of the state that you are promising him your votes, that they should reverse the ban. So those ones that were perpetuated, that has perpetuated that crime should not be brought to justice, and there should be no penalty for such act. Is that what this community leader is saying? I'm going to go further a little more, guys. He said, I appeal to the government to leave Okada riders to continue their operations. These Okada riders help the government during election with votes. Our voting population in Lagos constitutes over 2.7 million. Our voting, constitute over 2.7 million because most of us vote here in Lagos. We are not all bad people. We are not all bad people. That's exactly what he said. So what he is talking about with regard to what has happened, it shows clearly that the lives of the people that are being killed or the mayhem that these people cause in the society, left and breadth of the country, doesn't really count. What counts now is that they are using their voting power. Is that the reason why they brought these people into the state or into the other states to do Okada riding business in the first place? So that they can use their voting power to take advantage of the system. Is that because I really do not understand how they could, instead of them to can show remorse and sympathize with the people, with the person that has been killed, and sympathize with people that have actually been dealt with these people, to sympathize with the egregious behaviors of these Okada riders, instead of them to say something remorseful, they are coming to talk about their voting power. It is really sad. Very, very terrible indeed. And as a matter of fact, tension in Ojo as Okada riders resist attempt by police officers to enforce the ban on commercial cyclists in Lagos. So they have begun to even resist. They began already to resist the police officers, the policemen, from enforcing the ban. You know, now listen, I'm going to take few comments, just one or two comments with regards to that ban, with regard to what I just said, attention in Ojo as Okada riders resist attempt of police officers to enforce the ban on commercial motorcyclists. Right, this one said, please, so serious fight for Iyano Iba, Aboki fighting with police, serious gunshot, avoid the road for now, save life. This one went for that to say, guys, be careful around mile 2 to Abuleado to Iyanoiba road. Police and Okada people are fighting, serious gunshot everywhere. So this is got to do with the ban that the governor himself has placed, and they are now resisting the police from enforcing the ban. These are the people that are actually promising the governor their votes, instead of them to speak the language those people, those Okada riders understand, and make sure that they call them to order. Look at the mayhem they are committing. Look at the mayhem they are causing in the public, in the society. They're stopping the peace of the community and the peace of the people. It is really terrible and very, very sad. Very, very sad indeed. Very sad, guys. Very sad. Right. This one will shock you and to make you to laugh. Help me. Police woman cries out as a driver zooms off with her in his car after she entered without permission.
I will not allow you to. Hey, help me, help me, help me. Help me! Help me! Help me! Help me! Help me! If they carry me, they go where I don't know. Help me! Help me!
Because we have this kind of incident on a regular basis where police officer will jump into your car because you have refused to give them maybe 15 naira or 100 naira. This is exactly what used to happen. Now this man has changed the course around by driving the police. The police woman entered into his car without permission. You know, they are fond of opening your car and just get into it. You know, they don't even know where you're going. So this man decided to drive the woman away from that particular scene. And you can see the woman was shouting, please help me and all of that. So what really annoyed me is that the police PRO of the Lagos State said, irrespective, I repeat, irrespective of whatever the police officer must have done unprofessionally, kidnapping anyone, especially law enforcement officer on duty, is a felony. This man is already a suspect. Investigation has commenced. How is that a kidnapper? You jumped into his car and the guy zoomed off. The guy zoomed off. You call that felony. Why don't you call the police officer to order and to let them know that you don't jump into people's cars? If they refuse to stop, the number should be registered on your database. Then you look up, you be after the guy. You have the numbers registered. If they don't, because I don't know if Nigeria does that kind of a thing here. But if they do, you should have the registration number of that guy on your database. Then after which you will invite him for question. You know exactly where he lives because I know his registration number will be linked to where he lives. You understand this kind of a thing? So guys, what do you think? Do you think the police PRO is right to have said the guy is committing a crime, felony, calling him a kidnapper? Do you think that's right? Or do you think he shouldn't have driven the woman away? He shouldn't have driven the police away like that. He should have waited around the spot until police gets out, because ordinarily what would have led to that police officer getting into the car without permission, if not for bribe? All right, if not for bribe, because they don't even check papers. They demand for money. If you're unable to give them the money, that's when the problem comes. Most of the papers of people are completed most times, but then because you refuse to give them that money, they will still find one excuse or the other to make sure you get into that particular trouble. We have this on a regular basis, not something new, guys. So what do you think? What's your take on this? Do you think the police officer, do you think that serves the police officers right? Or do you think the guy shouldn't have driven, shouldn't have zoomed off with the police officer in the car? What are your takes on this? Do you think Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu should reverse the ban on those local government areas? You know, placing the ban on Okada riders. Do you think he should reverse the ban, or what do you think? Or do you think he should go ahead and make sure that the ban is enforced in those areas, or maybe almost every part of Lagos State? What are your takes on this? Whatever it is, guys, leave it in the comment section for us. Let others see it. I'm so very much happy, and thank you very much for joining me on this one today. I'll be speaking to you again. I'll be signing out. Thank you, and have a nice day. Bye now.